This morning on Eat Smart Today, top tips for bone health. An estimated 34 million Americans have low bone mass, adding an increased risk for osteoporosis, but you can take control and build your bones. Madeline Fernstrom is today's diet and nutrition editor and a contributor to iVillage.com. Good morning, Madeline. And this is an interesting number here. Osteoporosis affects 55% of Americans aged 50 and older. Bone loss is something that happens, but is it preventable?
You know, it's preventable in several ways. Some of it is going to be in your family tree. And look at your mom and your grandma and see if that's a particular problem for you. There are some things out of our control, our genetics, and also the presence or absence of estrogen. As we all age, estrogen declines, and estrogen really helps to protect bones. So when that's gone, we have to make a special lifestyle effort. But I like to focus on the things we can control because that gives you some empowerment, and lifestyle is really going to help.
And the first thing that comes to mind is calcium and diet. How do you get that into your diet in the right way?
Okay, calcium is important because you think that bones are always getting built and they're always breaking down. You need calcium to build that bone matrix, and you can get it in the easiest way, concentrated dairy products, and that's going to be something like milk, yogurt, cheese, and low-fat, non-fat, full-fat. They all have the same amount of calcium.
All right, and if you don't like dairy products, and some people have an intolerance to dairy products, there are still other things you can eat and take that will give you that calcium, correct?
Right, this is a big deal. You don't have to have dairy, but it makes it the easiest way to get your calcium. So you can have dark greens like kale and spinach and bok choy. This can help you, but again, it takes about 2 to 3 cups of broccoli to have the calcium in a glass of milk, so you have to work harder to get that.
And what about these calcium-fortified foods? Do those really work, and are they important to try and incorporate into your diet?
Well, it's sort of like a supplement, sort of like food, because this is added to foods that don't normally have calcium, but it's a way that
orange
can
juice,
get
I've seen it.
Orange juice. You can have calcium-fortified orange juice that gives you the calcium in a glass of milk, and that's going to work if you want your kids to have more, you like this as a source. You can buy rice. There are cereals that are fortified as well. So fortified just means calcium is added.
It's better than not taking it.
It's better than having nothing. If you're going to drink regular orange juice, why not get calcium fortified?
All right. And if your diet meets the daily recommended calcium intake, you still have to concentrate on getting enough vitamin D as well. Why is that important?
Right. Sometimes there's a lot of confusion about what does vitamin D have to do with bone health. Vitamin D helps the calcium get absorbed in your system. You think, well, gee, I'm going to have 400 milligrams of calcium. All of that's going to get into my bones. It doesn't. And vitamin D helps that absorption quite a lot. And so you either want to have a fortified vitamin D food with calcium, and dairy products are that. So if you drink a glass of milk, it has calcium and vitamin D added, because vitamin D, surprisingly, is not found in a lot of foods because our skins can make it. So in the perfect world would be outside and getting 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight every day.
Is that the best source? Is sunlight the best source of vitamin D? I know that there are experts who are weary of saying that because of the risk of skin cancer.
Well, you know, it's going to be the easiest and cheapest source. It's 10 to 15 minutes, but we go outside, we wear sunscreen, we're covered up, and a lot of people are not getting enough vitamin D, and that's why we have to pay more attention to getting that as a supplement, or some foods like fatty fish.
All right, what about taking a calcium supplement? I know I think I actually have some chewy supplements that taste like caramel, but do they actually get absorbed? Do they actually work?
You know, a calcium supplement is going to be helpful for probably most people. If you're having just a dairy serving or 2 a day or some greens, you're going to need to get up to 1,000 milligrams. You go, is that a lot? Well, it is, because a glass of milk is maybe 300 milligrams. You can take a 500 milligram calcium supplement fortified with vitamin D, and that's going to help you meet half of your needs. So a balance of a supplement and food is going to be good, but don't use a supplement to replace food. It doesn't work like that.
And we should point out lastly that exercise is also very important when it comes to bone health.
Exercise is huge. Weight-bearing exercise, whether it's lifting weights or walking or running or playing tennis, yoga, this all helps for bone strength. So you really can protect your bones with your lifestyle.
Madeline Fernstrom, great advice as always. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And you can find more of Madeline's information on our website. Just go to todayshow.com and visit our iVillage community.